So deal, y'all, it's the Kid HG, man. Today I wanted to try something different, man. I wanted to give y'all story time, man. Today I wanted to touch on one of my best homies, you know what I'm saying, that tragically lost his life. Going too soon, but not forgotten. My man Big Maul, aka Maul Crack, you know what I'm saying? Dudes down the borough probably know him as Big Maul, but down Camden they used to call him Maul Crack, or they called him Molly, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's one of my closest homies and shit. That's one of the first members that I ever lost, you know what I mean, that was close to me and shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's still like a missing gap, you know what I'm saying? Like he the missing piece, you know what I'm saying? Because Maul brought a lot of people together, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of dudes that I'm cool with to this day, I'm cool with them because of Maul. I met him through Maul, you know what I'm saying? It's like he brought a lot of people together, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Just to start from the beginning, my first time running in the mall, we used to go to Twin Hills Elementary together, you know what I'm saying? And my first time meeting him was like in recess and shit, you know what I mean? I was fresh out of New York, so, I used to think I was tough and shit. And I remember I was talking to somebody, and I'm like, oh, nigga, don't point at me and shit. And Maul stepped up, and he pointed at me like, and I'm like, who the fuck is this big ass nigga, bro? Like, because he always was big, you know what I'm saying, for his age and shit. And he just pointed at me on some like, nigga, I'll point at you type shit. I'm looking at the boy like, what? You know what I mean? Like, almost like we was Gary Rumble and shit, but you know what I mean? I don't know, somehow the shit got de-escalated, you know what I'm saying? But that was my first run-in with Maul, but we ain't end up getting cool till later. I don't even remember how me and Maul got cool, like, you know what I'm saying? But, because Maul always went to, like, bad schools and shit. We never went to school or nothing together, so I don't even remember how me and Maul got cool, probably just from being around, probably, you know what I mean, being at JFK and all that type shit. But, they ended up being one of my closest homies and shit, you know what I mean? Maul was from Pennypacker, you know what I'm saying? That's the section of borough he was from, but he ended up moving to Garfield, you know what I'm saying? He always hung out with C. Wright, which is like his right hand. He always hung out with Mike and Gay, which is like family, you know what I'm saying? Trey Buns, Big Trey, you know what I mean? That was his circle. That's the niggas he hung with like every day, you know what I mean? But like I said, Maul crib was like, he had one of the moms that like embraced everybody and treated us all like sons, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Miss Gail, you know what I mean? His sister, they had a lot of friends and shit. They was, kind of popular and shit like that. So his crib was always like a spot where you would see a lot of people at. You know what I mean? A lot of my friends, like I said, I'm cool with to this day, is through him. Like Mike, Gay, those my bros, you know what I'm saying? I know them through Maul. Like, C, that's my guy. Trey, everybody, you know what I mean? Like, but dudes like Marley G, which is, that's my bro. You know what I mean? That was Maul folks first. Lanky, niggas like that, those was all Maul guys, you know what I mean? Ended up being my homies too, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, those was all Maul homies and shit, man. Like, I can keep going on, bro. Like, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And Maul, he used to live, when he moved to Garfield, he moved on the corner of Genesee and Garfield Drive, which is like, Garfield Drive is the main strip out there, so, it's on the corner too, so we used to all be over there. So when we used to stand outside, it looked like a set, you know what I'm saying? Because for one, the borough ain't used to seeing all these niggas outside, you feel me? So at any given time you ride past, you see 20 niggas outside. We just look like we was, up to no good, you know what I'm saying? But in no actuality, we started trapping and shit. Now, it probably was only a couple of us really getting money, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, Maul was from Pack, but he definitely was a Brodeo boy. Like, he definitely used to rep that shit. It was times where we got in this shit and Maul was front lining. Like, he used to be in the party yelling Brodeo like the rest of us. Like, that was my guy, bro. Like, that was really my man. Like, and, he used to be at his crib. Like, it was a couple other spots that was jumping in the borough, but, Maul crib was definitely a spot because it was like it was in the middle of 3 sections. It was in Garfield, but East was right there and Twin Hills was right there, you know what I mean? So all three parks used to kind of like congregate around his crib. Like, niggas would pull up, you know what I mean? Niggas like Spado will pull up in the truck, like, you know what I mean? We used to be out there. Sometimes Glenn and Flo and them used to walk around there. Like, niggas from Garfield used to pull up. So it used to be a lot of people, you know what I mean? They used to just see us out there, you know what I mean? And like I said, like, it just looked like a set, but it really was just his crib. We used to be over there hanging out all the time. You know what I mean? But I remember when Miss Gail ended up moving or whatever, and Maul, he came and stayed with me out in Mount Holly. I had a little spot in Mount Holly on Washington Street, you know what I mean, on the hill. And Maul, I remember Maul, I was like, Maul, you can go stay over there. You know what I'm saying? The rent was only like $500. I was paying that joint. I think me and my brother was going half. So Maul used to come, he went and stayed over there. And Smokey and shit used to be over there. You know what I'm saying? That's another nigga that, you know, I know through Mall and shit, Smokey. A lot of y'all probably don't know Smokey because, you know what I mean, he was back and forth from Philly and shit. But yeah, so he ended up going over there. And then when that shit fell through, I think he even stayed with Glenn and them for a minute. And then he ended up going down Camden. You know what I'm saying? So when he went down Camden, you know, shit just, you know, that's when we really was like on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we really was on some street shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we was on some street shit back in the borough, but you know, Camden just a whole nother animal. And back then, like, North Camden ain't the North Camden that's now. Like North Camden back then was like a baby Kensington. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even think Kensington was even popping back then. I think it still was like Badlands, like, you know what I'm saying? But North Camden was like a 10-block radius with 33 dope sets on it. Like, niggas literally used to hustle across the street from each other, and dudes was coming from all over the town and coming from down the highway to come get money out there because there was so many blocks that was getting money, moving like a, you know what I mean, a bunch of bundles a day and shit. So on any shift, you could walk home with some bread. You could be a pack boy. Like, I think we was only getting like $30 a bundle, but niggas will leave with fucking bread in their pocket. Then they're rack from working a shift or something, you know what I mean? Or it might have been more than that, you know what I'm saying? Well, however you worked it out, if you was a runner and shit like that. But yeah, like, so me personally, I ain't really start fucking around till like, cause when they first went down there, I think niggas was on like 5th and State, and then, you know, niggas used to be in the building down Northgate, and then, you know, eventually they went down 7th and York. That's when I started really coming down there a lot, because I already had my own shit going on. You know what I mean? I had Brodeo popping back then, like, you know what I mean? So I ain't, you know what I mean? I ain't want to come down there and be, you know, you got to start from the bottom of another nigga organization. You know what I'm saying? When you the head of your organization already. You know what I mean? But I ain't going to hold you. The money was fast as shit down there. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Maul, sometimes, you know, he would have a block to himself, and I'll be down there just kicking it with him, and eventually I'm just like, man, fuck it, I might as well get money too. So, you know, I started selling little bundles and shit. That's my first time really selling hard drugs, like dope and crack and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Maul give me out his bundles. Say he got 10 bundles, he might be like, let's go bundle for bundle. You know what I mean? We get money like that. You know what I mean? Everybody love Maul, man, around there, like, especially like people from 8th Street, shit like that. Motherfuckers in the building, like, Maul got a lot of love down there. They the ones that gave him the name Maul Crack, you feel me? I don't know where it came from, but one day I just popped up and niggas like, yo, crack, and he like, they call him Crack now and shit. So a lot of times y'all hear niggas be like, yo, Maul Crack, you know what I mean? That's where he got that name from and shit. And you know, Maul was doing his thing down there, so like everybody was doing their thing down there, you know what I mean? I know Gee don't be wanting me to talk about this shit, because, you know, he turned his life around and shit, but, you know, Gee was getting money, Mike was getting money, and eventually everybody started, you know, falling and shit. Shout out to my old head Black Mike, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? That was like our old head and shit. Niggas was getting money, man. I pretty much was like in and out, like I wasn't all the way in, because it's like I had just caught that gun case in New York, and my lawyer already told me, like, yo, bro, if you fuck this up, you gotta do 5 joints. So I was like treading lightly. I come out there, get a couple dollars, I dip. I come back, get some money, I dip. And niggas ain't like that shit. Yo, not for nothing. Niggas that's from down there ain't like us coming from the borough to get money and all that shit. But them niggas, they wanted us down there because I felt like they trusted us, you know what I'm saying? Like, they knew niggas was on no bullshit, and they grew up with us, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, they used to be like, you know, they used to want to come down there and shit. But yeah, I used to come down there, get a couple dollars and shit, and I would dip, because like I said, I was on papers, and plus I already had my own situation going on. But like, I remember it was times I was out there by myself, and Maul wasn't even out there. When nobody out there, it was just me, and I would bring niggas from the borough just to look out for me and shit like that. Now, I mean, my man Uptown Shiz, he always speak about that shit. Like, he always remember the times I would bring him out there, you know what I mean? He always talk about Ruthie's and all that type shit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, fucking with Maul, you know what I mean? That's when I really, you know what I mean, got introduced to, you know what I mean, bagging up dope and crack and all that type shit. You know, even though I don't try to glorify this shit, but this is just what we was into at that time. You know what I mean? So eventually everybody started falling. I think Mike was the first to fall. He had like a 4-year joint. Gee ended up catching like 5 cases, but he stole. I think he caught like a 3 flat. And then Maul ended up catching the case. But before he caught a case, it was just me and him out there. I remember him being like kind of like depressed, like, damn, man, like, because, you know, niggas is locked up, niggas need shit, and it's like, damn, he felt a lot of pressure, like, I gotta kick up for the bros, you know what I'm saying? But niggas wasn't, I mean, chewing at that time. I felt like niggas probably thought niggas was, you know what I'm saying? So like, me and him, I remember me and him sitting on the steps talking one day, like, damn, yo, I gotta kick up and shit, send some money to bros and shit, to the bros or whatever, you know what I mean? But Maul was a good dude, real genuine type of dude, give you a shirt off his back. If he got a sandwich, nigga, you hungry, you getting half. Like, that's the type of dude he was, and that's why me and him was so close, because I'm that type of guy, you know what I mean? And it's not all the time you meet niggas like that. So when you meet niggas like that, you got to kind of cling to them, because it's a fucked up world out here. And it's like, when you fucked up, very seldom do you meet a nigga that's going to really, you know what I mean, rock out with you. You know what I'm saying? And Maul was like that. He was like that, man. And that's why, like, he know the type of love I had for him. I know the type of love he had for me. You know what I mean? But, you know, he ended up getting killed in 2009. It's crazy because my son was born that year in July. I think Maul died in like November. And I remember telling him that, you know what I mean, my girl, who my baby mom now, but she was my girl back then, and she was pregnant. And you know what I mean, he never got to meet my son, because I think he was booked at the time or whatever. So he met my daughter though, but I don't think he met my son. You know what I mean, we had legendary Brodeo Day, I think 2006. We had 2 Brodeo Days that year. We had one Brodeo Day, and then we had one for him because he was about to turn himself in. So I remember that shit was epic. I think that joint that's on YouTube, that little clip, I think that's the one that was the Big Mall joint. You feel me? That picture y'all see where we all sitting outside with all them scissor bottles and all that shit, that was the Big Mall joint. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, that nigga was outstanding member, man. I mean, definitely frontlining. Like, we done been through a lot of shit. We done been through wars. We done rumbled niggas. We done did all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? Back niggas down, all that. You know what I mean? Maul, you know what I mean, was always a solid boy, man. You know what I mean? And yeah, like I said, he ended up getting killed. You know what I mean? The story behind that, you know, I ain't gonna get into it, but you know, they say it was over something that happened in jail where he put the mittens on somebody, and you know what I mean, he ended up, you know, coming home and they was kind of like waiting for him and shit. That's what they say. I don't know, you know what I mean? To this day, it's like a touchy subject. We don't really sit around and talk about that type shit. But, you know, just from what I heard, like in the streets and shit like that, that's what niggas was telling me. Like I said, but Maul got a lot of love out there. So sometimes when you getting a lot of love, you forget that you got haters. You know what I'm saying? So when Maul came home, mind you, Maul was booked. And I remember Mike and them coming to me like, yo, everybody putting in some ones to get Maul out, whatever, he got to bail him out. So I remember I gave him a couple ones, and I ain't see Maul, you know what I mean? So Maul came home Friday, he got killed like on Sunday, you feel me? So the whole time Maul walking around, and mind you, Maul done did some shit out there, you know what I mean? He done punched on niggas done been through shit. He got shot before on 8th Street, like, you know what I mean? Like, he done been through shit. So, I mean, niggas is telling him like, yo, like, you know what I mean, be careful. Like, it ain't what you think. It ain't all love out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas is going through shit. I mean, I wasn't telling him, but, you know, other people was telling him and shit. But, you know, he getting so much love and shit. You know, when you come home, niggas probably done checked you off. Niggas probably done took you shot, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it be love. So the nigga not thinking that niggas is plotting. You know what I'm saying? So one day he in front of the building, niggas pull up. They get the rumbling, you know, Maul putting the pieces on him, and, you know, niggas end up pulling out a gun and shooting him and shit. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't make it. So I remember that night I was on my way to New York. Now, me, I was with Ray Don, who's my man Capone from Capone and Noriega. That's his manager and shit. Ray Don had like an open mic for us that night. We was on the turnpike, and I get the call. You know what I mean? Mike called me like, yo, niggas just shot Maul. He like, I'm great snack. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, bro, chill. Don't do nothing. Wait till I get back. Because, you know, I ain't want niggas to move off emotion. Because, you know, that's how niggas crash out and shit. So I'm telling bro, like, yo, chill. I mean, next you know, a couple minutes later, I get the call like, yo, he dead. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I cried, bro. Like, I cried, bro, because I know all the shit niggas been through. I know all the plans we had, all that shit, and that shit just ain't sit right with me, bro. Like, I cried, you know what I mean? And I still went and did the show that night, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It still ended up being a good night, but it was like, damn, bro, I lost one of my best homies, you see what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, bro, like, it just was fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Like, good dude, man, great dude, man, you know what I'm saying? At his funeral, you know what I mean, I met his pop. You know, his pop never was really around like that, but it's crazy because he looked just like Maul, bro. Like, mannerisms, you know, all that shit, bro. And, you know, he basically was saying how he felt bad. He wasn't in Maul life like that, like he should have been and all that. Man, it just was crazy. Like I said, Maul got so much love that the John from 8th Street kissed him in his casket, bro. Like, that's how much love he had out there in Camden, man. Like, niggas don't know, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's always something to learn from this, man. One thing I learned, bro, about that is, you know, everybody not going to make it to the